Hey, 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 welcome back to another episode of Closet Talk is out now. We are going to get into the rumors. I'm not going to say the story or the whatever, but the rumors of Busta Bust allegedly being a little flamboyant, uh, liking boys, and I guess his bodyguards are speaking out on it. So let's get into it.
Him and his section so bad, like what? Pulled him to the section, like through the rope.
So when I walk across the street to the crowd, I'm walking through the crowd and somebody grabs my hand. Just softly put their hand in my hand and just holding it. So I look, and I see this big chain that said flip mode. Just diamonds iced out. I look at the chain and I know what flip mode is, so I look up. Now all this happened in split seconds. I look up and it's Busta Rhymes.
If Busta ever try to film me, hit you with no delay, so what you saying, yo? Silly with that 9 milli, but the killer, yo. Yeah, I can hit better than him. He better not play with me. I will and perform Busta Rhymes, yo.
Not Busta Rhymes getting exposed as a super zest monster. And listen, those are his bodyguard's words, not mine.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before
Oh yeah.
in some of your videos.
Oh yeah. Super zest monster.
So, apparently, Busta Rhymes is going viral after a former bodyguard spilled the beans, claiming Busta made some seriously strange requests about young men in his VIP club section. But that's just the tip of the iceberg. See, Orlando Brown is out here alleging that Busta is one of the many DL rappers who turned him out. And now, on top of this, 50 Cent has also chimed in,
Okay, really quick. Orlando Brown has been coming out with a lot of interesting stories lately. Do I believe for all of them to be true? I don't know. But he's been coming out with a lot of interesting stories of the industry and who did what to him. It's just very interesting to hear because it's like, did that really happen, or are we on something? Because he's also known for just being on something to where he's not all the way there. He don't know what he's saying. So I don't know.
throwing not-so-subtle hints about Busta's secret lifestyle. And now, on top of all that, a bunch of men are stepping into the spotlight, sharing their own stories about how Busta allegedly made inappropriate advances and tried to get them to party with him. But let's get real for a second. This isn't just about their orientation. It's about these DL men in the industry acting all tough in public while putting their hands on people. All because they're too scared to live their truth.
But if you notice, like, there's countless videos of Busta Rhymes getting mad at females for just being girls. Why are you getting mad at females? You go to these guys, they're in the club, go to their section. It's all men in the section.
It seems like everyone in the industry has been whispering about Busta's escapades for ages. But now it's all coming out into the open. But what exactly did Orlando Brown and 50 Cent reveal about Busta? Did Busta actually do something inappropriate to young men? Let's break it all down.
I'm Prince tonight.
Did you know that back in 2006, Busta Rhymes made headlines after screaming a homophobic slur at a male fan who approached him? According to the New York Post, the fan came up to Busta and tapped him on the shoulder to congratulate him on his recent comeback. But Busta went off on him and then turned to his bodyguard, saying, "I hate effing F-word, man." And get this, when Busta was asked back in 2007 about homophobia in the rap community, he said that because of what he represents culturally, he doesn't condone homosexuality whatsoever. When asked if the hip-hop culture would ever accept a gay rapper, Busta got up and left the interview. Fast forward to now.
I mean, a lot of these rappers are on the DL or what, like, so what? So what? I mean, I don't think it should affect your work and how you perform and things like that. I mean, but if you are, you ain't got to be mad about it. Just saying. We ain't got to be mad about it.
And it turns out that Busta Rhymes might be yet another rapper hiding his true identity while taking out his frustrations on others. But let's be clear, this isn't just about Busta allegedly being into men, because at the end of the day, that's his business. The real shame is him allegedly being into men while also being self-hating and putting his hands on women and male ex-workers he allegedly hires. You know, it's the hypocrisy for me. But let's rewind a bit back to the early 2000s when these whispers about Busta's preferences first started making headlines. And you know who was the brave soul spilling this hot tea? None other than Wendy Williams. So,
how you doing?
what exactly did Wendy reveal about Busta's secret lifestyle? Wendy exposed the so-called homo thugs.
We come from a very homosexual era of hip-hop as well. There was a radio personality once upon a time. Her name was Wendy Williams, and she was practically burned at the stake for talking about such. And now it's all come full circle. There were many situations, none of which to talk about, but there were many situations back in the day in my career, and it's all coming full circle now. So
word on the street is that back in the day, Wendy Williams had an entire list of rappers who were on the DL, and she would have people call into her show to spill all the scandalous details about their encounters with these rappers. And guess whose name allegedly made that infamous list? None other than Busta Rhymes. One time, a man reportedly called into Wendy's show and claimed that Busta punched him in the face right after he got down on his knees for Busta. But that's not all. The caller claimed that Busta told him to keep his mouth shut about their encounter, which supposedly took place at a club in NYC, where rappers would go to have these types of encounters with gay men. Even though Busta allegedly pulled some serious strings to get the recording wiped from the internet, Wendy's OG fans remember this episode very well. Now, let's not forget that Wendy was also one of the first to publicly discuss Diddy's rumored DL lifestyle, and she even had receipts to back it up. However, when Diddy heard Wendy had a photo of him with another man, he reportedly got Wendy fired from Hot 97 and practically chased her out of New York, forcing her to find work in Philadelphia.
When she put out those pictures of the dude pulling his pants down and it looked like some gay act that was going on, he got on the phone. He said, let me tell you this. When I get back to New York City, if she's on the radio station, he's talking to a radio executive. He said the same thing to he said, nobody that I deal with, nobody that I know is gonna do anything with y'all, no business at all. It ain't gonna be no artist, no nothing gonna come. He's telling people that at a radio station. When we got.
Let me pause. So there's a movie, Lifetime movie, of Wendy Williams when she was up and coming to be a radio personality, a radio host, or whatever it is. And there is a part in the movie where it shows that she's being fired at the radio station, her moving to a whole different state or whatever to do radio. So it doesn't explain the Diddy situation in the movie. But if this is what he's saying that was happened, that's why she moved and got fired from the radio station, then that could be the scene in the Lifetime movie, the Wendy Williams Lifetime movie.
Got back to New York City, Wendy Williams was in Philly at a new station.
Wow.
That's the power he had.
By the way, Jaguar Wright also recently pointed out that Wendy Williams was the first one to call out Diddy and his fellow homo thugs in the industry.
Shout out to Wendy Williams, the first woman to uncover the homo thugs. That's what these down low bitches was cold when Wendy first started talking about it in the 90s, the homo thug. She talking about Diddy.
And then what's the stuff that's happening with Wendy Williams? You think this is all connection too?
Of course. They've been waiting. He's been waiting. He was waiting for Kim. Remember? He was waiting. The casket was ready. She was literally casket ready.
And allegedly, this is the reason why Busta Rhymes and Diddy developed such a close friendship. Word on the street is they had a lot in common, with some sources even claiming they allegedly shared young men with each other. Sure, now that Diddy is facing a federal investigation, Busta has distanced himself from him. However, it's a known fact they were close for years, going all the way back to the 90s. Here's a very happy-looking Busta hanging out with Diddy, J-Lo, Aaliyah, Hype Williams, and a bunch of other industry faces. And here's Busta with Diddy and his former BFF Jay-Z. Or how about this photo of Diddy looking like he wants to eat Busta? Literally. And let's not forget that Busta was hanging out with Diddy and praising him as recently as September 2023, just weeks before Cassie dropped her bombshell lawsuit.
Let me finish. This is the father of the joint venture deals, the label deals, that's right, the production deals. That's right. This is the father. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna big up Dallas Austin because he pulled this all up. But when he did it, it was the complete shifting of the climate. We ain't never seen it before. The same way, there's been a lot of greatness after, but he added to the floors of the skyscraper. He designed the foundation for that skyscraper.
Now, going back to what Jaguar Wright said about Wendy Williams exposing homo thugs, the reason she called them this is that they weren't just gay and on the DL, but they allegedly used intimidation tactics and physical violence against anyone who dared to speak on their secret lifestyle. Not only that, but both Diddy and Busta Rhymes have a long track record of getting physical with both women and men and taking out their anger on those they know won't hit them back. Busta's disturbing history of legal drama started back in 2006 when he allegedly attacked a man for spitting on his car. Later that year, prosecutors tried to nail Busta for possession of a weapon in the same incident, and according to Billboard, they claimed he had a whole machete in his vehicle. Fast forward to 2007, and Busta was back in hot water. He got arrested and charged with a misdemeanor for allegedly putting his hands on his former driver over money issues. Busta eventually pleaded guilty to both charges and got slapped with 3 years probation. And just when you thought it was over, in 2009, the New York Post dished that Busta had to cough up $75,000 to a fan. This fan claimed Busta threw multiple water bottles at him, and his bodyguard punched him in the face. Apparently, the only reason Busta attacked this man was because he tried to leave Busta's concert. The man later told the New York Post that he had hoped to see Fabulous perform, but since Fabulous didn't show up, the man said he stood up so he could leave as soon as Busta left the stage. However, Busta told him to get down and asked, "I'm not good for you?" The man said Busta then splashed him with 1 bottle of water and threw 2 more at him before one of Busta's bodyguards punched him. So again, it makes perfect sense why Busta was friends with Diddy all these years. But besides their anger issues, another thing Busta and Diddy allegedly have in common is their taste for much younger men. In fact, according to Busta's former bodyguard Big Homie CC, Busta would regularly send his entourage to find young, hot men and bring them to his VIP section in the club. Big Homie CC recently set the internet ablaze with his appearance on The Art of Dialogue when he boldly called Busta a super zest monster and dished on all the juicy details of what Busta was allegedly up to with young men back in the day. According to Big Homie, this has been an open secret in the industry for years, and everyone in the know, especially the club promoters, had the lowdown on Busta's preferences. Word is, if Busta was coming to a party, the promoters knew they had to line up some hot young men to bring to his VIP section to keep him entertained.
I seen you talking about Busta Rhymes before
Oh, yeah.
in some of your videos.
Oh, yeah. Super zest monster. For sure, bro. That's my thing, bro. Like, this has been common knowledge, though. Like, all my promoter homies would always say, man, you know, we gotta bring some, we gotta bring some, what they call them, I'm not gonna say it on here. They call them fun boys. They'll say we gotta have some fun boys in the section for Busta. Cause you know I bodyguarded for Ghostface Killer before. You feel me? And being around him, you hear things. You feel me? I'm like, damn. And my auntie like the biggest Busta Rhymes fan. You feel me? Like every cookout she playing it. All his little fast rapping, all of that. Him.
I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't know, y'all. I don't want to say it's true. I don't want to say it's not true. But what I am going to say is there's some freaky shit going on in that circle. In that circle. Diddy's friends, his little parties, Busta Rhymes, man. Like I said, everybody is about to start coming out. Everybody is about to start coming out. Things are about to start happening and people are about to start being exposed. Jaguar Wright, she is exposing. Orlando Brown is exposing. Okay. Cassie exposed already. Who else is coming out? Like Danity Kane is exposed. Like people are coming. Choppa, he's exposing some stuff. Like everybody can't be saying the same thing and it ain't true. Everybody that's exposing people, they are all saying the same thing. So, I don't know, y'all. But make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, and get in the comments of what y'all think. Thank you guys for watching. Closet Talk is out now.